My life has been on a downward spiral ever since I decided to strap myself into this absolutely psychotic roller coaster Mort series. We have learned that the cute, cuddly, adorable, and supposedly dumb Mort is an evil, devious, diabolical god for the entire universe of Dreamworks. And the French have created a regime dedicated to preventing intellectually advanced animal beings from rising up, becoming powerful, overthrowing the humans, and enslaving us all. If a year ago you would have told me all of that exact same stuff, I probably would have called a psych ward on you because I would have assumed that you have suffered from some sort of mental degradation. Now we're at a point where my mental status has almost fully degraded, and somebody should probably call a psych house on me. Every day I pray for the safety of the Theorizer because he has voluntarily taken us down a very dark path that Jesus himself would dare never travel. So without further ado, the Mort theory is evolving. Dreamworks, dear God, save us all. Let's see what we got. Oh my dear God. Oh! Nice, dude. I'm already shaking in my boots. That's lovely. Disclaimer, this is part 22.
Are you new here? Is this
This is part 22 of the theory. This is part 22. At this point, how is the Theorizer still a functioning member of society, bro? Like, there's no way. There's no way.
Is this the first video in this series that you're watching? Because if it is, this will make virtually no sense to you. For me to explain it simply, well, the side character Mort from the Madagascar movies, he's a lot more than meets the eye. They made a whole spin-off show where they ended up giving him one of the most complicated backstories you can possibly imagine, and it's quite shocking. They really took it as far as they possibly could for the simple reason of, why not? They probably got a kick out of it. So I decided to take on the daunting task of figuring out this most confusing, incomplete, random origin story, and the results quickly took off on me. I learned far more than I wanted to, and no joke, it seems as though
I'm sure we all did. I'm sure we all learned a lot more than we probably wanted to.
Show essentially made Mort some kind of Lovecraftian demon, who, for all intents and purposes, is, well, the Grim Reaper. I will link the playlist in the top right now because
I also forgot to mention the fact that Mort is literally death himself.
Part 22.
My bad for just skipping by that.
Half of it is straight up canon, believe it or not. After solving Mort himself, I came to the realization that this spin-off show answers more than just Mort. It's so complicated, and I think it's attempting to prove a truly wild concept that all of Dreamworks' films take place in the same world. So I found a way to tie Mort into every film they've made, and then tie it into every theory I've made in the past on them, and things came to a head very recently in this Mort series when I determined that the gods who are out to stop Mort have recruited a secret organization of humans and granted them abilities.
And they're French.
This organization seems to be based out of France, and their goal is to suppress and destroy animals anytime they show signs of intelligence or of rising up. These France-established exterminators...
And to spread the propaganda of escargot to the masses and to the youth, bro. If the French, bro...
Exterminators, as
they're crazy.
Them, or feet for short, are in every film, all time periods, all countries, and they tend to have a serious focus on snails and red hair and a few other bizarrely random things, but most importantly, they utilize humorous music to their advantage, as it seems in almost like a cult-like way. I kid you not. This is everywhere in the films. It's so weird, and I don't know why, but it is.
Is that Robin Hood?
I seriously still don't fully know why the patterns are there, but I've found a lot so far. If you've seen the previous video, part 21, then you know this. But what if I told you that it goes even deeper than that? What if I told you that it goes so deep that I'm on the threshold of snapping?
Please, Theorizer, sir, we're getting too deep. We are getting too deep, and we're gonna start touching surfaces that should have never meant to be touched by humans, bro. Like, I can't go this deep, bro. I'm only one man. There's only so much depth I can get to.
My utter befuddlement at the fact that these patterns shouldn't logically exist.
Befuddlement, I love that.
Here they are, doing it anyways. The amount of evidence I found. You are seconds away from one of the most insane videos you'll ever see.
Oh, dear God, bro. He gave us a warning. Y'all know the deal. Go spank him. Give him some spankings.
Hello, I'm the Theorizer, and I wanted more information on the musical side of this feat cult. I wanted to dig into them some more, and you might recall that initially this organization stemmed from the Shrek films. This cult contains all of the villains and half of the side characters, Reggie, Robin Hood, Fairy Godmother Charming Merlin. But here's where things are about to take a turn. I thought it was kind of funny and dumb when I made that original musical meme cult theory. It's a legitimate theory, but still presented quite silly. But by now, though, you should understand just how real it is. And here comes an absolute flood of additional proof that this is a thing that exists.
Wait a minute. So there's a cult of silly music in the Dreamworks universe. What does that have to do with Mort, bro? I'm confused, bro. I'm confused with what the national anthem and Tupac got to do with anything.
The Pied Piper. In Shrek 4, Rumpelstiltskin hires an animal control bounty hunter who uses...
Bro, if I'm being honest, dude, listen, bro. I'm gonna be completely honest, bro. Shrek 4, if you compare Shrek 4 to all the other Shrek movies, bro, I'm sorry, dude. Shrek 4 fucking sucks, bro. I'll have to say it, dude. I gotta say it, bro. Shrek 4, that shit is not it.
Animal
compared to the rest of the Shrek, obviously. You know what I mean?
Bounty hunter who uses a flute and the Pied Piper. In Shrek 4, Rumpelstiltskin hires an animal control bounty hunter who uses a flute to play music that supernaturally controls all of the animals around him by assimilating them into a dancing cult. This is
Rumpelstiltskin recruited a bounty hunter that uses the power of meme music that creates magic that forces the animals to dance in a cult-like manner. This is out of control, dude. This is where I draw the line. This is getting out of hand.
Really? A bounty hunter who magically
this dude literally forces them to just start hitting a hokey pokey, bro. Start woo walking and hitting some TikTok dances, bro. Oh my God, the D'Amelios are cult leaders, dude. This is crazy.
With music.
This is crazy.
This is my exact theory. This should also sound quite familiar to another self-proclaimed animal control officer, Chantal Dubois, who is a critical member of the FEAT organization, as we've established.
She got some milkies.
I'll call the members footmen, because that's easier and already a word, so my script won't autocorrect, of course. Also, once again, we see that hairstyle that's a little similar to Reggie and Robin Hood and Farquaad.
Yeah, like
and
the bob.
Think of it, some of the villagers who were out to hunt Shrek at the beginning of the first film, which is also something new I noticed. But there's, so much more. I can feel it. I started rummaging around the other films, and then it hit me. How did I miss this before? You know how Duloc is an important stronghold for the organization because of Lord Farquaad? Remember that, right?
Right,
Well, take a guess how Duloc introduces its visitors. It greets them with a
the creepy-ass puppet doll singing "Welcome to Duloc," bro. If I was ever greeted by some demonic-ass dolls dancing, shaking some ass at me, bro, I would turn away. I'm turning away and pulling up to Iowa or some shit, bro. It's not a fun vacation for me anymore. Them things creep me out.
Aggressively tells them to stay in line.
Oh my gosh! Don't make waves, stay in lines, and we'll get along fine. Shine your shoes, wipe your face. Oh my gosh, this is literally a dictatorship. This Duloc is ran on totalitarianism.
Forbidden
That's
music
crazy.
cult. If you somehow didn't believe me before, do you believe me now? We have more than enough evidence, really, but I'm not done. I want everything. So I watched through the films yet again and paid closer attention to Shrek's big moment in the third film. He's about to go on stage, and it's interrupted when his butt gets scratched with a musical instrument by a man literally named Fiddlesworth. This is like some sort of nightmare. It's like the universe is taunting me. And
he's got the hairstyle.
Here's just the thing. It keeps going.
Bro, that hairstyle reminds me of like early days Rihanna, bro. Like you seen Rihanna in the Umbrella music video, and that's what I think of Lord Farquaad, bro.
The second film's entire climax
I'm gonna call that
is
the
literally
Rihanna.
the fairy godmother, esteemed member of the Feet, piquing her evil plans with a musical number. Honestly, why is this happening to me? A whole entire orchestra
Oh my gosh, you're
appears
right.
behind her as she sings into her magic wand and rolls across a piano. The musical, magical, misotheric evil is everywhere. I had to take a break from watching, so I descended into the comments section of part 21 and immediately found a comment from user Isabella Dinell.
Hey, Theorizer, did you notice that in Shrek the Third, when Prince Charming captures Shrek and the others, the way he chooses to kill them is during a musical?
Who highlighted the fact that Shrek 3 ends
I did notice
in
that. Oh my
almost the
gosh.
exact same way, when the godmother's son, Prince Charming, plans out an entire musical play in which he will publicly execute Shrek, the intelligent beast, the target of the organization. Charming's whole life has been musical and dramatic. He even defaulted to theater after his mother died, which makes sense given everything I've been saying. So then I decided to go in and take a closer look for myself, and I damn near fainted when I realized what was really happening. If you know anything about classical music, then you probably know of the very famous
I'm an expert
song
myself.
Danse Macabre by Camille Saint-Saëns.
Of course, I am very familiar with Danse Macabre, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm a very cultured man myself, you know? So it's a nice little Tuesday afternoon tune, you know what I'm
know
saying?
of the very famous song Danse Macabre by Camille Saint-Saëns. This is what Charming sings half of his musical to. If you couldn't tell already, this is the missing link. Danse Macabre
Oh my
is
gosh.
French.
Yeah!
Care to guess what the song's about?
What is it?
It notoriously means Dance of Death.
Oh!
It famously details the Grim Reaper resurrecting the dead so they can dance on their own graves. They had thousands of
Dude!
songs.
Bro! He just like me, bro! Dancing on the graves of your ops, bro! Ooh-wee! Pulling up to the funeral, your biggest hater just to flex on him, bro!
Resurrecting the dead so they can dance on their own graves.
That's some real
They had
gangster
thousands
shit.
of songs to choose from for the big moment in a musical where the human kills the beast rising to power, and they chose this one. This song about Mort. If you're not acknowledging the musical cult at this point, I don't know what to tell you. Oh, wait. Yes, I do. Here's some more evidence.
What?
Shrek 3 did a lot of things and played a critical role in my original discovery of the music
Okay.
cult. So I kept looking, and it dawned on me that I'd been ignoring Captain Hook up until this point. What caught my eye again
He's got
was
the Rihanna.
pesky hairstyle, but that's not what I'm here for today, no.
Oh.
I'm here to expose him for his more significant ties to the cult, because he's always playing that piano. Always, always, always.
Oh.
This surprised me, but what really got me was when they roll it all the way out into the wilderness just for their fight with Shrek. Why do they do this? What a waste of time and resources, unless it's truly important. And here's just the thing. The instant they roll it out, Donkey screams.
Look out! They've got a piano!
The absolute terror on his face. Donkey knows about the cult somehow on some level in some way. I mean, let's see.
Bro,
First of
Donkey's
all,
from the streets, bro. Donkey grew up in the hood, bro. He came out the mud. My man Donkey made it out the gutter, bro. He seen things. Bro, he knows. He knows some shit, bro. He knows about that street life, dude. He knows, bro.
He's one of the main intelligent animals in the Shrek films, so much so that he was the big introduction to the concept when they were all surprised he could talk. He's also constantly doing what? Singing. Just walking around singing to himself? When Shrek asked for Farquaad's location, Donkey was one of the only characters to know the answer, let alone say it, and Farquaad, of course, is a critical footman. So now you're seeing why I included my Donkey theories in the playlist. He has a number of horrific stories about his past, and I wonder if he was bred as sacrificial food or something, but more of that stuff in part 23. Tying this back around...
Nah, you're not gonna do that to me. You're not gonna break my heart and tell me Donkey was bred for food. You're not gonna tell me that. I refuse.
Reasonably assume
I
that
refuse to
would
listen.
connect Captain Hook and his piano as well. And take a wild guess who hijacks the piano mid-song during their battle?
Oh my God.
Merlin, one of the main magicians I deemed responsible for the musical cult's existence. Then, when Shrek blows up the piano with his cannon, what happens? All of the enemies freeze, panic, and then run away as fast as they can. The music, their connection to the gods, their upper hand, has been severed. The music stops, and they're gone. The music serves as a link, but more on that too in part 23. Because, are you satisfied with the music cult yet?
Bro, see, this is why the French are weak. This is why the French are soft, bro. If they don't have music, then they don't have any power, bro. Look at that. They don't have any power beyond the notes. It's crazy.
Hungry for more. And you know, this scene really did get me thinking about pianos, so I hopped back over to that final scene from Shrek 2 one last time when the godmother's rolling across her piano, and I felt like something important was going on when she tells her pianist, Kyle, C minor, put it in C minor. She says it right before her performance because the film has made a point of her being musically aware. Quite interestingly, Kyle proceeds to put it in G minor, which is how she ends up singing I Need a Hero. And so I did ask on Twitter if any of you could tell me whether Hook's songs were in either C or G minor, and it seems like some of them, namely the battle scene, are, but that's more coincidental than anything. Less
I heard a
coincidental,
couple
though,
E-flats in there, you know? A cultured music man like myself heard a couple E-flats in there. Maybe a couple D majors, you know what I mean?
G minor, and it also was a climax song, but I digress. Do with that what you will. Now, by returning to the Shrek 2 climax, more than anything, I was interested in what she's actually saying in her song. They chose an interesting song for this climax, considering it was almost begging for Shrek to come dashing in, and they have a track record of phenomenally specific songs like Accidentally in Love, so I examined the lyrics and found parallels that intimately describe exactly the sorts of things I've been saying. Sky God parallels. The most important lyrics include, "Where are all the gods? Somewhere just beyond my reach."
Where are all the gods? Somewhere just beyond my reach. There's someone reaching back for me, racing on the thunder and rising with the heat. Up where the mountains meet the heavens above, out where the light splits... Up where the mountains meet the heavens above, out where the light splits the sea. I could swear there is someone somewhere watching me. Through the wind and the chill and the rain and the storm and the flood. Bars.
There's someone reaching back for me, racing on the thunder and rising with the heat. Up where the mountains meet the heavens above, out where the lightning splits the sea. I could swear there is someone somewhere watching me. Through the wind and the chill and the rain and the storm and the flood. This is all too suspicious, and I'm terrified. If this
Me too, man.
still isn't enough. Well, the first two films both end with musical numbers, I'm a Believer and Living La Vida Loca. There's also bonus features on the DVDs, with the first film having a whole karaoke party, and the second film having it too, in the form of a singing competition.
And the first movie got a whole musical now too, it's crazy.
Simon Cowell arrives and judges the main cast. Are you kidding? I mean, I don't think it's literally Simon Cowell, but it's most certainly some sort of musical judge from far, far away, and it is in fact voiced by Simon Cowell.
That is Simon Cowell.
The canonicity of these aren't to be dismissed either, as they even bridge gaps between both Charming and Doris's character arcs of the second and third films. Still, it's not linchpin evidence, keep that in mind. It is support for the overwhelming rest of the evidence. And by now, it should be clear. This cult is real. Their music is real. Their goal is serious. They hate intelligent beasts. I say beast because the word choice could theoretically include all animals and fairy tale creatures or monsters. The point is, organic,
Beast.
non-human intelligence. Robin Hood uses
kind of
such
offensive,
words
but
as
that's
well
fine.
when he says foul beast, and so does Prince Charming and half of the Shrek cast, including people like Rumpelstiltskin, where he claims the Pied Piper's music will soothe the savage beast, which finally transitions
my
us out of this
gosh.
musical madness and into the next phase of evidence. If you haven't guessed by now, the Shrek films are far more critical than you can possibly imagine, and Rumpelstiltskin is where we'll start with the next chunk of this. We established way back in my fairy godmother theories, somewhere around part 8 of all this madness, that Rumpelstiltskin's plans involved everything the fairy godmother had plotted, and that the fairy godmother's plans included everything that Lord Farquaad had plotted.
Okay.
Rumpelstiltskin's at the top of this hierarchy. Not all members of this organization have the same goal. Remember, there's lots of overlap in goals and tactics.
Bro,
and
why is it always the short dudes with the big ass heads that have all the power, bro? Like it's always the dude built like a Funko Pop that they reign supreme,
members
bro.
of this organization have the same goal. Remember, there's lots of overlap in goals and tactics and communication, but I almost referred to this organization as a freelance one because the Sky Gods manipulate and bend and twist and lie to this disorganized organization so long as their goals are met. The biggest manipulation tactic they use is, of course, the hatred of animals, which persuades many humans, but not all. In fact, their target is Mort, and they can often achieve that without the help of humans and sometimes even with the help of animals. This is important, and with that said, Rumpelstiltskin is probably the closest to the Feet organization, giving him being at the top of the manipulation chain. They're all footmen in their own right, but
Dude,
Rumpel's
Rumpel
quite
freaks me
interesting
out.
and worth more of a delve. When his evil plans engage, so too does the creepy
Bro, Rumpel looks like that when he was a kid, he was one of those kids that would just randomly run up to you and just like punch you in the dick. Just for no reason. Just because he was bored, bro. He just walks up to you and he just starts like punching you in the leg, bro.
lightning, which, plot twist,
That's what
could
he looked
very
like.
well be courtesy of the Sky Gods. And here he proceeds to hyperventilate as Shrek signs his contract, and I kid you not, his actual feet rip through his shoes and dig into the ground. I was already in a panicked state, and I hadn't realized I'd turned the
Dude,
audio
he got
into
some
French when I was
strong.
watching.
Bro, what the hell are these Hercules toes?
So when he started saying
Oh
sign
my
and started to
gosh.
sing,
Well,
I nearly
Mort would go crazy for those.
fell out of my chair. An important thing to note about Rumpelstiltskin is that he's more of a magical creature than a human. We established aliens and other creatures.
Thanks for reminding
more of
me.
a magical
I like how up here it said the blobfish is not magic. Thanks.
Creature than a human.
Thanks
We
for
established
reassuring me.
aliens and other creatures as wild cards in the eyes of the organization, and thus they can go either way. This is why I made that point about the Sky God's goals and how things aren't exactly black and white. Rumpel, though, he's quite clearly a member of Feet. First of all, he hires the Pied Piper, and he himself laughs about musical manipulation, which is something he seems interested by, to the point where he sets up a damn nightclub in his castle. There's also the big one, which is that he has, red hair. As you may notice, this is one of the smaller connections, but it's made much larger when the film makes a huge point about his hair when he gets a fiery wig, quite reminiscent of Devil Dubois. He also makes devil deal contracts that transcend universes, but honestly that's more like Mort than anyone. Yes, if we want to truly
Rumpelstiltskin is in cahoots with the French lady with the
there
milkers.
needs to be a really
My
big,
God.
really interesting plot thread involved. Luckily, I have that video where I dissected Shrek 4's...
Bro, you know what's funny? This series, this theory has layers. Onions have layers. Ogres have layers. That joke was a lot funnier in my head, so I hope you were laughing at it,
triple
okay?
timeline, and I think I found something new. In Shrek 4, Rumpel planned out a massive scheme in which he tricked Shrek and bent space-time to his will. This film is one of the only other times that the multiverse becomes a critical focal point aside from All Hail King Julian. This is different though, because what again was the result of this Shrek 4 parallel universe? Well, it was apocalyptic. Animals enslaved, ogres hunted, Rumpel in charge, everything destroyed in favor of dystopian control and order. This is, generally speaking, the sort of devastated world that would likely result from trying to get a grip on things like animal intelligence, to hold back something that advanced, just to get enough time to split Mort yet again. It's a dystopia. Mort is chaos, but this is too much order. It's a dictatorship that doesn't care about, much of anything at all. It's one of many Feet endgames, and a lot had to happen to get it to work. Rumpel's scheme alone wasn't enough. On its own, he needed Shrek's willing participation. It was a miracle that it all
Wait,
played
so
out.
is this... So is the apocalypse was a way to combat Mort? Is that what I'm understanding?
Own. He needed Shrek's willing
He's trying to...
participation. It was a miracle that it all played out, and I mean that literally. Let me explain. Shrek went back to Far, Far Away following months of boring, dull repetition in his life. It was almost the exact same day, repeated over and over and over again. This was the catalyst for the rest of Shrek 4, and it drove Shrek nearly insane. This is all a reference to the oft mundanity of family life, except it's more than that. At the very, very, very beginning of the film, Shrek is fine. He's already been doing this for ages, but it's only when the film starts that he begins losing his mind, or more specifically, after that first day. So darn it, I delved and rewatched that entire first day. I thought I couldn't find anything, and
You know what I just realized? This could mean absolutely nothing. This could mean absolutely nothing. Fiona got red hair. And she is the heir to the throne of Far, Far Away. What if... Oh my god! What if Fairy Godmother put her in that tower, and then Farquaad hit up Shrek to go get her so that they'd fall in love, so that way they'd have somebody on the inside to help keep Shrek tamed? Oh my gosh, I gotta figure it out. That's crazy. This my own theory.
So darn it, I delved and rewatched that entire first day. I thought I couldn't find anything.
Right, and Fiona's in on it. She was willingly in that tower, just so Shrek specifically, you know what I'm saying? Charming wasn't supposed to go there. What if it was Shrek?
Then my jaw almost dropped off of my
That's
skull.
wild, bro.
It was the Sky Gods that did this.
So, what did you wish for?
That every day could be like this one.
What in the f***? The Sky Gods literalized his wife's wish in simultaneity with Rumpel's cold open vengeance scheme and put Shrek in a vague, looping hell state so he'd cave at the slightest provocation and bootstrap the apocalypse. Ogre for a day, my ass.
How's that for a metaphysical paradox?
Alright, so we've seen some good evidence and flimsy evidence, but all interesting points nonetheless, and it just begs the question, how much of the Shrek films are a conspiracy? When I told you they were important, I wasn't lying. They're almost as crucial as Madagascar is. It's like, in this time period, the Sky Gods are desperate and in full effect. We already know of some smaller manipulations, like how the fairy godmother actually wanted Shrek to save Fiona, but what else could there be?
Oh!
I often lay awake at...
Look at that, bro. Look at me, bro.
We already know of some smaller manipulations, like how the fairy godmother actually wanted Shrek to save Fiona, but what else could there be? I
haven't watched that video, by the way.
Myself, how did Shrek have Fiona's fairy tale book all the way out in his swamp? And he did, by the way. It wasn't just for kicks in the intro, because later he references it when in the Dragon's Keep. I've even asked myself about how Charming knew the appearance of Shrek's swamp so he could involve it in his musical. Does it have something to do with that moment when Reggie and the trumpeters sort of just waddled behind Shrek's house at the beginning of the second film? One time I even questioned the largest of these possible manipulations. How did Arthur's classmates know to play All-Star? Yes, if you recall from the Reggie theory, the band plays All-Star when Shrek enters the school, but how? How do they know to do this? Conspiracies everywhere, I'm telling you.
Bro, Smash Mouth is for the people, bro.
For this video, I decided
That's
there was
how.
one relevant enough to the
They're like
cult
Michael
to warrant
Jackson.
an entire section, and that would be on the matter of King Harold. You may remember when I absurdly claimed that Reggie assassinated the king back in, what was it, part 12? Well, I've come to the understanding
Excuse
that
me?
he might not have, but someone he's affiliated with most certainly did, unintentionally or not.
Ooh.
You see, King Harold was turned from a frog into a human by the fairy godmother's magic. He turned back when she died, and it probably didn't help that he was slammed with her energy blast. His transformation and reverse transformation are, as I understand it, a magical manipulation that is not permitted. He's changing states, and one might argue, changing sides, using the magic that the fairy godmother funnels from the sky
Oh
gods
my god!
themselves. This is a disrespect of the highest order, and I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't the
Oh, So he was an animal, and then he turns into a human, so now he's on the side of the humans, but then turns back into a frog and is now back on the side of the animals. Dude, that's bad.
This is a disrespect
That's
of
not
the highest
good.
order. And I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't the Godmother's magic that killed her, but rather the Sky Gods snapping their tether and thus annihilating her for her failure. Harold goes differently. Without the magical connection, he slowly withers away as an impossibly old frog, unless of course they sped up the process by having someone like Prince Charming kill him with poison. There are no accidents, to quote a possible warlord. And as these other intelligent frogs literally sing, live or let die. Hashtag in before the Mort. Charming, you see. He watches this funeral from a distance, and considering his plans with Rapunzel must have spanned a significant amount of time that we never got to see, it means Charming could have already been working on this prior to his declaration of vengeance, but this is all speculation. There's one massive connection King Harold has, one critical link so shocking and bizarre that I'm not sure what to make of it. It could be nothing, or
Lay
it
it
could
on
be
me.
everything, so pay attention.
Lay it on me.
Chantal Dubois, one of the most famous footmen around, the definition of an exterminator-terminator.
Bro, and she got that long ass
Wow.
tongue, bro. Let me find out Chantel freaky. Let me find out she like a low-key freak on the DL,
One
bro.
of the most famous footmen around, the definition of an exterminator-terminator. I showed Chantal Dubois so many times in part 21.
Right.
Here, there, everywhere, and I somehow missed the obvious. Pineapple is literally on her hat. She never once removes this hat in the time we get to see her, and I can't believe I missed this, but the commenters certainly did, and a few people have brought it to my attention now. She bears the symbol of her leaders. Here's just the thing. I know.
Oh
Mrs. Flint-
my god, bro. Stop. No, bro. Now we're getting... This is getting crazy. The Sky Gods from All Hail King Julian... Dude,
flimsy, but
okay.
it's not nearly as flimsy as you think it is. I want to clarify that this is not a fleur-de-lis, but if it were, it would also be evidence, and here's why. For those who don't know what I'm talking about, I hadn't realized it either until commenter Red Panda Boy pointed it out, but Prince Charming's main outfit is covered in fleur-de-lis symbology. Real fleur-de-lis symbology. You can find them frequently in Dreamworks, but mostly in the Shrek films around Far, Far Away. This is noteworthy because what is a fleur-de-lis? Well, it's a very famous symbol.
That's the Saints
That is
logo, right?
French. There's more, so prepare yourself. This famous French symbol is largely on medieval French things, most notably the flag itself. It bears a mild resemblance to pineapple, which I guess would make sense if the Sky Gods are tied to France. And I already rewrote real-life Madagascarian history in part 21, so... But again, its resemblance to pineapple is really mild. The symbol on Dubois' hat, if not pineapple, is instead maybe a sort of parodied...
Bro, it could also, bro, this also does have a strong resemblance to a weed leaf, bro. Maybe Chantal Dubois is just about that 420 life, bro. Maybe she just a big fan of Snoop D-O-double-G, bro, and she just be hitting the steezy. And she just be zooted, bro.
Queen, a pineapple, and a fleur-de-lis.
What is she, just like
which
a
would only
raging
help my case
pothead?
even further. So what does the fleur-de-lis represent exactly? Here's the mind screw. It represents a lily. This realization hit me funny, and then I realized why.
A lily?
King Harold, as a frog, claimed to have lived in a lily pond before marrying his wife, Queen Lillian. Is there any tie between him and the physical symbol, though? Yes. I scanned as hard as I could, and then I finally realized that it was right under my nose the entire time.
What?
His crown is covered in iterated fleur-de-lis symbols that are modified into a parodied pineapple shape. Again, have I lost it?
Yes!
Have I lost it?
Yes, you have! Yes, you absolutely have, and now I have too. I've completely lost my mind. Harold, you deceiving buffoon! How dare you! How dare you!
Shape.
You bastard!
Again, have I lost it? Have I lost it?
We all have,
My point
bro.
is that there's something here, somewhere here. The dilemma is that you theoretically could construe this one in many ways, but the fact of the matter is that if it is construed as valuable evidence, it would be the single best evidence yet. Both of these notions cancel out, however, and thus I see this as more or less just another pin in the corkboard. Nothing overly special because of the possibility of it literally being nothing, but I can't dismiss it either because the context of this is critical.
Because you're a
see, this crown
psychopath,
is
that's
worn by
why.
the kings of far, far away.
You're a
as we
maniac.
see both Charming and Arthur wear it following Harold's death. This means it was worn by those terrifying previous royals I blabbed on about in the fairy godmother videos, and thus that whatever this intends to represent would be theirs. This could imply
Bro, so what about Justin Timberlake? What is his link to this whole
a
thing?
number of shocking
That's
things,
my
such
question.
as a schism in the feet, considering the fairy godmother was a part of it too, but this will, as with many things, be reserved.
'Cause
for the
don't he
logic
become king
segments
at the end of
this
the third
massive
one?
theory, where I will fill the vastly numerous holes I've created for myself by finding all these connections. Alright, back to the main video. To put all of this King Harold stuff simply, the Sky Gods were somehow involved in his death, intentionally or not. Charming then took his rightful place, but was of course killed by his own musical prop in the climax of film 3. I would like to finally note here that the Sky Gods have supernatural life extension in full swing during all of this. Charming stares up at the falling tower and questions, "Mummy?" before being crushed to death. It's my understanding that he literally saw her as he was seconds from death and is a footman. If you recall the very ending of part 21, I brought up the matter of Farquaad's ghost and how he too was granted life extension. It's the opposite of Mort, and it's the Sky Gods' ace up their sleeve. I've realized since then that he truly seemed to believe that if he killed
So the Sky Gods grant external life, and Mort grants external death. Okay, that makes sense.
she'd want to become his queen.
That makes sense.
He wasn't exaggerating. This only pans out if he somehow has control of her spirits, which is even more proof that something's going on, because why would his ghost be all that special? Finally, look at the way Farquaad is destroyed. Dragon blasts his soul into a dozen smaller spirits. Tell me this isn't word for word how I described Mort.
Oh
that is
my
largely all of the
gosh.
Shrek evidence. Now, give me a few days to get out the rest of this insanity because we've only
Dude, this
covered
is
the first
madness,
half of
bro.
my findings.
Bro, this is gonna build up to a war of the gods, dude. The Sky Gods and their French army versus Mort and his animal army, bro. And this is gonna be apocalyptic for the entire universe, bro. This is bad. I don't like where this is going.
Where I clumped
I
together
don't
all
like
everything
where
to
this
do
is
with
going.
Shrek. The remainder is far more shocking and better. I will not be long. Keep checking. There's going to be another even longer second half coming extremely soon, within days. I guess that would make it part 23 then. Good grief. Sorry about the absence of Mort in this part, but I more than make up for it in the rest of the findings until a few days from now.
I think so.
I'm the Theorizer.
Oh my gosh, bro, this is getting crazy. I thought you could, dude, every time I watch one of these videos from the Theorizer, this psychopath, this madman, bro, I think, bro, you can't possibly get any crazier than this. You can't possibly get any more wild than this, bro, but this is heating up, dude. This is heating up, bro, just like them onions and them ogres, bro. We just peeling back layer after layer after layer, bro. This is getting way too complex and complicated, bro. My brain hurts. Okay, my last few brain cells are fighting for survival, dude. This is getting out of control. Never expected us to get to this point, bro. And I don't even want to try to guess where the hell we're going next, bro. Oh my gosh, this is getting mad.